Pete was in his kitchen. He was about to slice 3 green apples. He liked to eat fresh apples with cinnamon sprinkled on them. He opened the blinds so that he could get more sunlight into the kitchen. Now he could see what he was doing. He grabbed a knife out of a drawer. It said, "Surgical Stainless USA" on the side of the blade. The blade was very thin and light. It had teeth like a saw. The handle was a brown piece of cheap, hollow plastic. He had bought this knife about 20 years ago at a county fair. It was one of those knives that were advertised on TV. It could cut through a tomato can and then cut easily and cleanly through a fresh tomato. You never need to sharpen it. The sharp edge is guaranteed for life. That's how they advertised it. And Pete, for once, couldn't argue that the advertisers lied. This was a great knife. But it was also a dangerous knife. A couple of years ago, Pete was careless. He was rapidly slicing a potato, and the blade got his finger. The doctor put 3 stitches in Pete's finger. "Next time, be more careful," the doctor said. No kidding, Pete thought. He was so careful that he didn't use the knife for almost a year. Simon got a monthly bill that he didn't like. His internet service provider, Wink, automatically withdrew $15 from his checking account each month. This was called direct payment. It made things simpler for him because it meant one less check to write each month. In fact, Simon had direct payments with his gas company, his phone company, and his electric company. So that was 4 fewer checks that he had to write each month. This month, instead of $15, Wink had withdrawn $75. Simon went online and looked at his account. Part of the increase was because he had switched from a slow dial-up connection to a fast DSL connection. Wink charged him $45 just to make that switch. Simon thought that this charge in itself was ridiculous. It probably took them about 5 seconds to make the switch. But any time a corporation can gouge you, they will. In addition to the $45, Wink had charged him $15 for his dial-up account, but had also charged him $15 for his DSL account. This was a double charge, since a computer uses dial-up or DSL, but not both. "We'll see about this," Simon thought, as he searched for Wink's 800 number. Nancy was new to America. She came to America speaking only her native language. She brought her 8-year-old son with her. He was all she had in the world. They found an apartment in Arcadia. They were there for only 2 months when a neighbor's dog jumped over the fence. The dog ran toward Nancy's son. Nancy put her body in between the dog and her son. The dog stopped when it saw Nancy screaming at it. She was going to punch it in the nose. The dog turned around. Shaking, Nancy took her son upstairs. They stayed in the apartment all weekend. Then Nancy found another apartment close to the school that her son was going to attend. She and her son walked everywhere. One day her son started coughing badly. He had an asthma attack. All the walking was making his asthma worse. Nancy knew that she had to buy a car, so she called up the Honda dealer. She talked to a salesman who spoke her language. She told him that she wanted to buy a new car if he could come over to pick her up. The salesman said he would be right over. The yard man comes every 2 weeks. He drives a gray pickup truck. The truck is a Ford. It is about 15 years old, but it runs well. It doesn't burn oil, and it gets decent gas mileage. The yard man's name is Byron. In the back of his truck are a lawnmower, a leaf blower, a rake, and a shovel. Byron uses the leaf blower to blow leaves and dirt from the back of the building out to the front of the building. Then he rakes up the leaves into a bag. He blows the dirt out into the street. He cuts the lawn with his lawnmower. He trims the hedge. he uses the leaf blower to blow the dirt off each welcome mat that lies in front of each apartment door. Then he puts all the leaves, the grass trimmings, and the hedge clippings into a wheelbarrow. He pushes the wheelbarrow to the back of the building, where he uses his big shovel to empty the wheelbarrow contents into the big dumpster. It takes Byron about 2 hours to do this work. When he is done, he goes half a block up the street to the house on the corner. There, he does the same work again. Ben leaned over the edge of the tub. He turned on the hot and cold water faucets. The water came out of the spout near the top of the tub. He pushed down on the lever beneath the spout so that the water would drain. He was going to take a shower, not a bath. He tested the temperature. It wasn't hot enough. He adjusted the hot water faucet. There was another handle between the hot and cold faucets. This one controlled whether water came out of the spout or out of the shower head. Ben turned it all the way to the right. Now hot water was coming out of the shower head. The temperature was just right. Ben took off his robe and stepped over the top of the tub. He pulled the shower door closed. He grabbed the bar of soap out of the soap dish and started scrubbing his face. While his eyes were closed to keep out the soap, he put the soap back into the dish. Then he reached for the big plastic container of shampoo on his window ledge. The bottle slipped out of his hands and landed on his left foot. "Shoot!" Ben said angrily. "That hurt." Sarah needed to see the doctor. She had an upset stomach. She felt bloated and needed to pass gas every minute or so. This was terrible. She couldn't go anywhere in public. Her friends told her it was because she had moved to America. The air, water, and food in America weren't agreeing with her. They said she would have to return to her home country. "No way," Sarah said. She didn't want to go home. She liked America. This was a minor problem, she was sure. Any good doctor would solve it in no time. 2 days later, she saw her doctor. He asked her if she drank milk. She said yes, 3 glasses a day. "Don't drink any more regular milk. Start drinking lactose-free milk, because lactose can upset your stomach." Then he asked her if there were any big problems in her life. She said that her boyfriend was a big problem. He wanted to get married, but she didn't. The doctor said that she should find another boyfriend. "Why?" Sarah asked. "Because your boyfriend is giving you too much stress. He is probably the main cause of your upset stomach." "I don't think my boyfriend is going to like that." "Just tell him if he really loves you, he should leave you." Norma was discouraged. She was a new realtor. She had recently passed the state test on her first try. Then she joined a realty company. They offered training classes 2 to 4 times a week. Norma attended the classes faithfully. But because English was her second language, she didn't catch everything that the instructor said. When she asked the instructor to repeat something, he told her to see him after class. But when other students asked a question, the instructor answered the question right then and there. To Norma, the instructor always said, "See me after class." Then, when she tried to see him after class, he would say that he was late for an appointment. "How about next time?" he would say. He was always too busy to help her. "He's not too busy, he's just too lazy," her boyfriend said. There are too many instructors like that. All they care about is presenting their information. If the students don't get it, that's their problem. You have to be strong. These people are not going to help you. They want you to fail because that means less competition for them. It's a dog-eat-dog business. Jennifer's ears were talking to her. They were making little sounds, like little bubbles bursting. A bubble was bursting almost every second. It was not painful, but annoying. She knew the cause. While she was cleaning the whiteboard after her class ended last night, the fire alarm went off. Instead of leaving the building immediately, she walked around to see what the problem was. The blaring alarm sounded like the busy signal on a phone, but 1,000 times louder. The school seemed to be empty. Then she walked by one room and saw about 7 students inside. Just then the night supervisor came by. She told everyone to leave immediately. The students were packing their hair care equipment into their bags. The night supervisor waited impatiently. Finally, after almost 5 minutes, all the students and their teacher left the building. They apologized for being so slow. The firemen never arrived. Instead, a school police officer showed up. He walked around the area with the supervisor. It was a false alarm. The officer used his key to finally turn off the alarm. But it was too late for Jennifer. She had listened to the loud alarm for too long. She should have known better. Even as she drove home, her ears felt strange.